Let's talk vitamins and deficiencies when it comes to a vegan diet. Because it is well known that some vegans can become deficient in certain vitamins, especially the longer you follow a vegan diet. But it's not to worry, okay? So the most common on the deficiencies are going to be iron, vitamin D, B12, zinc, calcium, and iodine is in there as well. So what we're going to do is talk about the easiest ways to get these in your life and tasty ways to get these in your life so you don't have to worry, okay? So we want to talk about the top sources of those vitamins that can become deficient and how easy it is to get in your life. So let's discuss iron. And always, don't just take an iron supplement. You always want to make sure if you're going to supplement, check your levels first, okay? Don't just take supplements on the market. Really important that you do that because most people overdo it than underdo it. And many people don't need any. The only one in particular, and we'll get to it, is B12. That's one that most vegans always need a supplement in. But let's go through it and tell you the top sources. But no matter what, especially for your iron and B12, get those tested before, and vitamin D, get that tested before you supplement. Iron, all right. We know first and foremost that to get the best absorption of non-heme iron are non-animal based sources of iron. And to get the best absorption, you need vitamin C for that, okay? So let me jump ahead for 1 second. And vitamin C is not just found in oranges, it's actually in all green vegetables. It's highest in a red pepper. Strawberries are really high. So any of your vitamin C sources, as long as you have that with an iron rich food, the absorption will be increased significantly. All right, so vegan sources of iron. Beans across the board, lentils and chickpeas, and it's so easy to get those in, especially with soups and chilies, lentil bologneses. So all the beans, especially lentils, chickpeas, those are really high. Green vegetables, dark green vegetables, Swiss chard, spinach, kale, those are loaded in iron. Once again, super easy to get if you cook them. A very common question is, if I cook them, will I lose the nutrients? No, but the most absorption you'll get, believe it or not, is steamed. Now, not everybody wants to eat a steamed vegetable all the time, but actually dressed with olive oil or a tahini dressing or, a nice dressing that you make, it's actually lovely. But steaming is the best way for absorption. Yes, you can saute, but don't overdo it and don't go at such high temp, but saute in a little bit of avocado oil, grapeseed oil, olive oil. So your Swiss chards and spinach and kale, broccoli, all greens, also very high in iron. Nuts, yes. Cashews, very high. People love cashews. Now, the beautiful thing about nuts is you only need a little bit to get a lot of bang for your buck. Its serving size is pretty small. It's like 7 cashews. So it doesn't take a lot to get what you need. And once again, all of this can almost be thrown on a salad and you can, get everything you need. You could put oranges on a dark green leafy salad with nuts on it and strawberries on it. And, you could see how we're going to build upon this. All right, tofu and tempeh, high in iron, especially some of them are fortified, so you'll get a nice source that way. Some of the milks are fortified. The alternative milks are fortified in iron, so you can take a look at that on your label. Pumpkin seeds, which are delicious. You can also buy or make pumpkin seed nut butter. A company on the market that I know that makes a good one is 88 Acres, but you can make your own. You can just eat pumpkin seeds, which are delicious. You can toast them up, and dark chocolate. Dark chocolate's high in iron, and you're going to see when I talk about other things, dark chocolate kind of is in a lot of things. So those are some high sources of iron, and once again, anytime that you're going to mix with vitamin C, you're good to go. Let's dive into B12. B12 is a common one that we really, it's so profoundly found in animal products, and we don't absorb it until it hits your gut, and you need something called intrinsic factor, and you need a good healthy microbiome to actually absorb vitamin B12. B12 is actually created in your microflora. So, you know, if you do this the right way, eat the right way, and supplement, you will be fine. You can go pretty high on a supplement for B12 because it's water soluble. It will leach out. So you can take a 500 microgram amount and you're totally fine. But vegan sources of B12 are usually found in fortified products, such as nutritional yeast. A vegan's best friend. So nutritional yeast has it. Wheat germ, I believe, is B12 fortified as well. You can always check the label if you like wheat germ. But for sure, nutritional yeast. Fortified cereals have B12, and you can just check that label. So if you're having a cereal and it's fortified, non-dairy milks are fortified. They will have B12 as well. Shiitake mushrooms and tempeh. Those are two lovely sources that have B12 in them. So tempeh, fermented tofu, which is wonderful for the gut, actually really good for the gut microbiome. So B12 is found, as I said, we're talking fortified products, shiitake mushrooms, B12, tempeh, and any fortified food, nutritional yeast, cereals, things like that, and fortified milks. So that's how you get your B12. And once again, get tested. And if you're a little bit low, you just take a B12 supplement, 500 micrograms, you know, done deal. All right, so that's your B12. Let's talk vitamin D. Vitamin D. A lot of people are deficient in vitamin D. Anyway, you don't have to be a vegan to be vitamin D deficient, because we know the sunshine makes it, and we're all wearing sunscreen, and that inhibits the absorption that we get in our bloodstream. So vitamin D, once again, we're talking fortified foods. A lot of times you'll see that in your fortified milks, and you'll see it in your fortified cereals. So vitamin D is really from fortification. In addition, I'm gonna go at it again with mushrooms. Mushrooms and tofu will have also vitamin D in it. So you know, you're going to see a lot of these foods I talk about pile onto each other, which is great. So you get a lot of bang for your buck. So tofu, mushrooms again, fortified foods. That's how you're going to get, you know, your vitamin D. Shiitake mushrooms in particular are incredible. They're my favorite as well. I love shiitake mushrooms, so knock yourself out. And once again, a good fortified cereal a few times a week is great. So that's touching on your vitamin D. And if you really go out in the sun for even 15 minutes without sunscreen on your hands even, you'll actually get a decent amount of absorption. Calcium. Calcium is easy for vegans, in my opinion, because of all the calcium, the fortification again in the non-dairy milks, and calcium is loaded in the green vegetables. So from, once again, what I talked about with iron, spinach and kale and Swiss chard and broccoli and Brussels sprouts, those are high in calcium as well. Dried fruit, you're going to see some calcium, like figs. Blackstrap molasses is high in calcium. I know it's a weird one. Most people don't use blackstrap molasses, but if you like it, you can actually add it to a shake or something, or even like when you're baking, you know, you can put it in cookies. So that actually has a lovely source of calcium. So we're talking about figs, almonds have calcium, so figs and almonds and blackstrap molasses and all the dark green leafy vegetables and your fortified milks. So that's how you'll get your calcium if you are a vegan. And if you need to supplement, once again, to each his own, I'm just giving you general information. Iodine, if you are concerned, which, you know, we should be as vegans, that's actually in kelp, and the kelp noodles are delicious. If you ever see them on the market, kelp noodles are wonderful with like an Asian flair, and seaweed. So you will get iodine from seaweed and kelp. And if you do use like a spirulina in your smoothie, that's how you'll get, you know, iodine. And then zinc. Let me not forget zinc. Zinc is super important for your immune system, and not so hard to get in the diet, okay? We're gonna overlap again on the zinc and talk about pumpkin seeds are high in zinc, spinach is high in zinc, Whole grains are high in zinc. So anything from farro to quinoa to buckwheat. So if you eat some whole grains, that's how you'll also get your zinc. And let me go again on the cashews and the dark chocolate. So my little brain says you can make a little trail mix with almonds, calcium, cashews, zinc, and iron, and some dark chocolate, and even some figs, and you make yourself and dates, and you have yourself a wonderful homemade trail mix that there you go, you get a lot of bang for your buck. So, you know, it's pretty easy. If you eat healthy and you eat from the ground up and you're not eating the processed packaged foods, and you're really pushing the fruits and the vegetables in particular on the green stuff, nuts and seeds, you will see that you will be okay, all right? And the fortification does help. So those fortified milks are great. And I'm gonna end with this one. If you use a protein supplement, you know, a protein powder, because a lot of people like protein powders in smoothies. A lot of times those are completely fortified. So there you have it. No need to worry, all right? Have a wonderful day.